Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us this afternoon for board policy review. We have the policies that were updated by the Ohio School Board in their quarterly review to go through today, and then certainly if there's any other items the board wants to discuss. Ashley, do you have to call the meeting to order or anything with policy?
I don't believe so. It's a committee meeting, so I think we're good.
Okay. So any questions or comments before we jump into the policies?
No.
No, I think they were all pretty self-explanatory this time.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna walk through each one, and then obviously if you have any thoughts, input, questions, we'll do our best to answer them. So the first policy BDC, executive sessions, I think is just alignment with state law. If you open that up, it's revised and it's required. It's a required policy. Any questions or comments on that?
That looks good.
I was good with it.
Okay.
So we're going to approve to move forward with approving that at the board meeting
That's correct.
for the first reading? Okay.
Yes, and when we say board meeting, not tomorrow night, Barb, but the...
Correct, the 15th, first reading.
Okay, next was IJA. This is a policy on career advising, and this also aligns with state law, specifically mentions graduation plans, which we'll chat about at the end a little bit.
Okay. So we're going to talk about graduation plans later?
Yeah,
Okay.
we might, I mean, unless you want to ask now, but the policy regarding graduation plans is later.
Okay, I was just, if we're going to talk about it, we can talk about it later.
Okay.
That was my question on this one, is what is a graduation plan?
All right, well, we'll jump on that towards the end. Revised required JE, I'm sorry, so IGA career advising we're okay with?
Yeah.
Okay, JED student absences and excuses. This with all our administrators. And
They make you create a separate section here or something? Or like you moved everything to a separate section, right, in this one?
correct.
Okay.
It also references the student, the policy regarding the graduation plan is one of the changes again.
Right. It looks like now absences there's medically and non-medically. It's two different distinctions.
Correct. And the administrators are incorporating these currently into handbooks, which would come back around later in the spring. Student attendance and accounting, missing children. This had minor wording changes. Any questions on that policy?
No.
No questions.
Hazing and bullying modified that and pointed out, clarified that we cannot violate students' First Amendment rights. And this is JFCF, hazing and bullying, and then there's the regulation, the JFCF that aligns
Is that
with.
new wording about First Amendment rights? Like, why was that added? Or
Hold on, let me click into the policy real quick, Greg. It's not letting me.
Yeah, they just added a sentence that says discipline procedures will not infringe on any student's rights under the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. That sentence just wasn't in the previous.
I know. And we're required to add that sentence.
okay, I was wondering what it means. Like,
So essentially, you don't lose your constitutional rights when you walk through kind of the schoolhouse door. You still retain those rights as a citizen in the United States.
I guess why is that important to adding it to a bullying policy?
Because it's about free speech. Yeah, I don't get it either.
I'm trying to understand what the purpose of it is.
I would imagine this as a result of some kind of case law, to be honest with you. And I don't
Okay.
know specifics. If you scroll all the way down to the note at the bottom, I don't know if you got that far down.
So is someone saying like if someone finds something someone believes offensive, something like that happened, I guess, is basically what they're saying.
Yes, but
Like if
someone,
you're spouting like a religious beliefs and if someone doesn't believe in that, they can't accuse you of bullying them because you're spouting like religious beliefs, sort of that sort of thing.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly
Okay.
what example, to be honest with you, I could give you on this.
Okay.
To me, obviously, this someplace somewhere this came to fruition where a district probably took action against a student and called it bullying, and it was deemed that it was a violation of a student's First Amendment right. A lot of the things with bullying and harassment, come back to was it directed at a certain individual? Was it repeated over a course of time? So I would imagine that one statement at one time is more of a violation or a statement on First Amendment.
Okay.
Yeah. I have the February PDQ open, and it says the board adopted policy must include a disciplinary procedure for any student guilty of harassment, intimidation, or bullying, which shall not infringe on any student's right under the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. So it looks like we don't have a choice. We have to have that.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm just trying to figure out what changed then.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's just that sentence is the only thing that changed.
Right. I'm trying to figure out what that means in terms of change. Like, so.
I don't think it changes anything that we've
Okay.
dealt with in the past.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Okay, revised optional, BDDG regarding minutes. We went through, I think this was before the changeover. We went through a bit, conversation regarding minutes changing, and this policy, made some modifications prior to, I think, this committee, or the new members of this committee, and we're not recommending we make any additional changes to that policy.
Okay.
So Barb, to be clear, we're not approving PDDG. We're staying with the policy as previously amended. Revised optional policies GBCB regarding staff conduct, and GBH student relations, also in JM, and JM staff student relations, also GBH. We are recommending that we adopt these policy changes because it provides better guidance for staff regarding conduct and aligns with kind of the code of ethics that we all operate under.
All right. I'm one clarification on GBH, which then is also JM. Number 6. I believe the word "and" is supposed to be the word "and." It says soliciting, encouraging, engaging, or consummating an inappropriate relationship with any student, minor, or individual who was a student in the preceding 12 months is prohibited. I don't think it's "and" because "and" doesn't make sense.
Then D needs to come out.
Okay. Barb, you've got that?
Yep.
Okay. I always have to find one.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
OSBA should run them behind you before sending them. So we're down to new required, and this is the graduation plan language. Essentially beginning with the 2021 school year. So next school year, we need to have graduation plans for each student enrolled in grades 9 through 12 that basically articulates the graduation pathway. This will include, in our case, it will include progress on the different seals that are part of now the graduation requirements. Just a kind of an update on the board on this work. Amy Harker has been working with high school guidance counselors on the development of these plans. They're using a software package that's called Transio. Transio will not only track the graduation plans, it tracks community service and students' ability to or the students' community service hours as well, and as well as their track on academic performance as well. So we do have a software package. We'd kind of slated to run this to the board and share it with the board probably at the end of April, but we're probably going to push that back until May. I think for now, it's just important to know that this is on our radar. We are moving forward and putting things in place for not only the graduation plans, but to better monitor community service and to also monitor the system of tracking whether students are achieving the appropriate seals or not.
Has this been an issue in the past, or just like adding work to the district to do this?
It is adding work. I will tell you that the whole seals thing and kind of documenting them was a concern, for districts when the state of Ohio went in this direction. I don't think it's a bad move from a philosophical perspective, but the whole tracking of them. But this software has really made this process very doable and streamlined. Now, anything that a software package can only do so much. You've got to, do your part to input. So there is additional work to this. But again, it's a requirement by law. We don't have a whole lot of choice in this.
Is the requirement of the law to track it or to act on it?
To create these plans and have them in place. So you're monitoring students' academic progress throughout their high school career, and parents have a better understanding of the pathway towards graduation. I will tell you, Greg, this is a very small number of students that we're dealing with.
Right.
At risk along the way, where really these plans were for. But with the added addition of all of these seals, it's important to have in place for everybody.
Okay.
IKF. School ceremonies. Am I in the right one? And observe this as a patriotic. I might have clicked on the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, IKF is still graduation requirements.
Which we just board approved, I think, last month. So that, I think
Yeah.
this is just here for reference.
I'm not sure because the link is actually the IND and INDA.
So we probably should take a look at this. It's already in IKF.
I clicked on it and it went there, I think.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, that was my mistake.
So there's permissive language we need to review at the bottom. So if you get to page 3 of 5. Let me know when you guys are there.
Yeah, I'm there.
All right. I'm
Um,
there.
Permissive language coursework prior to 9th grade. So this is specific to students that complete high school credit course prior to 9th grade and applying it towards credit for graduation. And then it's taught by a licensed secondary teacher. The board provides the opportunity for those students to get credit. So I would recommend we include coursework prior to 9th grade.
If you look on our policy, we do have that.
Okay.
Our current policy, we have that. We do not have the phys ed exemption or the ROTC.
Correct. So those are the recommendations currently. And I do know, and we'll just have to make a decision on when we want to have the conversation regarding PE waiver. I was thinking we would want to be in person for that meeting, but you guys can give me guidance on that as well.
I thought we were gonna wait and isn't PE up for review this fall?
Yeah, we can do it then for sure, but we want to do it early enough that we're out in front of it in case there's any changes that would need to be made to course selection guide, things of that nature.
Okay.
So the only thing we recommend here is coursework prior to 9th grade, including that. And I don't know if our current policy includes community service or not, but we could certainly include that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
If what's on the website is updated.
That is current.
Okay, then I don't think we have to make any change.
Well, it does in the cross references at the bottom. They want to include graduation plans and student at risk of
Right,
non.
okay, yeah.
So that reference has to be included.
right, okay. Yeah, but I don't think, Barb, I don't think any wording to the policy. I think you're fine there.
Okay.
Just the references.
Mhm.
Okay, then if we go to school ceremony and observances of patriotic exercises. I did not cross-reference this, Mary Kay. You might be able to help us through this, but if we go down to choose one of the following for patriotic exercises, you've got, and this is on page 2 of 3 in this policy.
We have the second part.
Yeah. So this basically the second part of this allows for, we don't require it, but it allows for, I think, teachers to make, those decisions in building principles. So we do have buildings that currently do this. Is there any issue with remaining with what we currently have?
I don't have any issue.
No issue.
Okay, school prayer.
We have that statement, but so it looks like we just got to add the by October 1st. We don't have the date.
Correct.
And we do have the moment of silence.
Any issues with that?
No.
What about Constitution Day?
We have that.
So any issues with keeping that? So it looks,
That's what I tell you, I learned something new. I didn't know there was a such thing as Constitution
yeah.
Day.
so it looks like the only change in this one that we're gonna make, Barb, is October 1.
Got it.
And is there anything in the citations? Nothing there. All right, that concludes the policies.
All right.
Any
That was-
questions?
The only
So-
question I had was, what was the action on the IKFC graduation plans?
Under
Yeah, so what?
new required,
Yeah.
Barb,
Ignore-
under new required, is that what you're asking about?
I'm asking what was the decision on that policy? Yes, new required.
Yeah.
Are we adopting as is?
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anything else for the good of the order?
Nope.
Nothing else on policy.
Okay. I
We
think
need to,
that,
do we need to schedule another meeting, or do we just wait until the next PDQ comes out?
that's kind of what I would do. I don't know what all of this is doing to the timing on policy revisions down at OSBA, so why don't we wait and see? Would we have another, which quarter was this? This was,
First quarter,
okay.
it's February. So, I mean,
That third
next
quarter.
one would come out in May if they were on schedule, but who knows?
Yeah, I think we're probably safe that we're likely going to be pushing towards the fall, but we,
Yeah.
we certainly, if they release something, we can certainly schedule another meeting.
Okay.
All right. If
All
that
right.
is all, everybody have a great day and stay safe and healthy.
Thank you.
All
Take
right.
care.
Too.
Take care.
Bye.
Good seeing everybody.
Mm,
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.